Chapter 3, My Dream Company. I spent 25 years building a career in a business world dominated by men. And I can honestly say that when I retired in 1963, thoughts of organizing my own company never entered my mind. But I had some general opinions regarding the structure and operation of a successful business and some specific opinions about how women might overcome the obstacles I had encountered. So I decided to write a book. My career had evolved into the area of staff development and training. So I thought of this as a guide for career women. I began by listing all of the good things I had observed in my professional life and how I felt a business should be conducted in accordance with the Golden Rule. If an employer would treat employees and customers as he or she wished to be treated, all would profit. As my list grew, I began to dream of a company in which women had the opportunity to fully utilize their skills and talents. They could, in fact, enjoy the rewards appropriate for any goal they were smart enough to reach. Wouldn't it be marvelous, I kept thinking, if someone would actually start a company? I'd love to work for an organization like this. Suddenly, I realized that I didn't have to just sit and wish. I could start that dream company myself. All I needed was a product that women would be comfortable selling. One night, as I was preparing for bed, the answer came to me and seemed so obvious. The skincare products that I loved and had been using for years would be perfect for my dream company. I had discovered these products in the early 1950s at a Stanley Home Products party. This particular party was attended by about 20 women whose ages ranged from 19 to 70. As I demonstrated the Stanley products, I kept looking at the people who were gathered before me and wondering how women of such varied ages could each have perfect complexion. It was the year those pink light bulbs came on the market and promised to make every woman look as if she were bathed in candlelight. But just light bulbs could not explain the beautiful complexions I was observing. After my sales presentation, we gathered in the kitchen for coffee, and it was here that I noticed my hostess handing out little white jars with black tops and penciled labels. As she distributed the items, she made notations in a composition book and gave instructions such as, "Now, let's see, you've used number 3 for 2 weeks, so use number 4 for 17 days. This was surely the secret of those beautiful complexions. Because the hostess had not offered me any of these creams, I asked, "What are you doing?" She explained that the people were her guinea pigs and that she felt she could take credit for their skin, the skin of everyone in the room, everyone except for me. Then she examined my skin carefully and discovered that I had a problem with whiteheads. In front of 20 women, she also added, "And you have aging skin." Not a particularly flattering statement, but of course, I knew that it was true. That night, she gave me a shoebox containing the products that were predecessors of today's Mary Kay Basics set. What we know as skin freshener was in one of her old prescription bottles, and the other products were packaged in recycled jars. A directions sheet was in the box, complete with very poor grammar and misspelled words. I must have looked a little dubious when I saw how these items were packaged, because the women around me began telling me of the remarkable improvements in their complexions. It was true that they all looked great, but in the back of my mind I thought, this just can't be all that good. She's really got these women brainwashed. It took me a day or two to even try the samples she had given me, but one afternoon I gave myself a facial. When my 10-year-old son Richard came home from school, he gave me a kiss on the cheek and said, "Gee, Mom, you feel smooth." I knew that I was on to something. Soon I was a loyal fan. eager to learn all that I could about the origin of these wonderful skincare products. My former hostess told me that she had received the formulations from her father, a tanner of hides. He had noticed that his hands looked younger than his face, and his only explanation was that his hands were constantly in the solutions he used in his work. He decided if these tanning solutions can turn stiff, ugly, big-pored hides into soft leather like a glove, they must be doing the same thing for his skin. So he began experiment by putting modified tanning solutions on his face. When he died at age of 73, his experiments had given him the skin tone and elasticity normally seen in much younger men. He had proven his point, but no woman would ever do what he had done because his face tanning process was time-consuming, smelly, and obnoxious. Everyone except his daughter ridiculed his idea. She moved to Dallas to study cosmetology and eventually modified his formulas into creams and lotions gentle enough for a woman's skin. It was these products that I had seen in her kitchen the night of my sales presentation. For several years, I returned to her home, bought the odd-shaped little jars, and introduced the wonderful products to my family and friends. My own mother became an ardent consumer, and Thanksgiving, Mother was too ill to travel, so I went to Houston to visit her. During much of my visit, she felt so bad about her appearance that she didn't even want to come out of her room. I left a portion of my skincare products and said, I don't know if they will help, but they've done great things for my skin. Give them a try. She did, and she began daily program with the night cream, cleansing cream, the mask, the skin freshener, and foundation. When I visited at Christmas, my mother had also become a firm believer in the special products. She was so faithful to her skincare regimen that when she died at the age of 87, her skin was beautiful, and few people believed that she was more than 60 years old. I knew that the products were special, so in 1963, I bought the original formulas from the Tanner's heirs. I also knew that with the right packaging and innovative marketing concept and a lot of hard work, my dream company could become a reality. When starting a company, the usual process is to establish monetary goals such as we're going to do $100,000 in the first year. So it's natural that I'm often asked about my financial objectives when we first started Mary Kay Cosmetics. My answer usually surprises people. I didn't have any. My objective was to give women the opportunity to do anything they were smart enough to do. And so to me, P&L meant much more than profit and loss. It meant people and love. A few years after developing the idea for Mary Kay Cosmetics, I remarried. And until his fatal heart attack, my husband handled the administrative end of our business plan, while I was in charge of marketing. Often, he would explain to me how we had to buy our goods at one price and sell them for X amount more to the consumer. That's how a business keeps from going broke, Mary Kay, he'd say. His advice just went in one ear and out the other. I wasn't interested in the dollars and cents part of the business. My interest in 1963 was in offering women opportunities that didn't exist anywhere else. At that time, the vast majority of companies simply didn't make room in their executive suites for women. Oh yes, if a woman was really exceptional, she might become an assistant to a senior officer, but that was about as far as she could go. In 25 years, I had seen countless capable individuals held back only because they were female. I myself have been frustrated by the lack of opportunity for women. One company paid me $25,000 a year to be its national training director, But in truth, I was acting as a national sales manager, and for a salary much less than the job was worth. Then there were times when I would be asked to take a man out on the road and train him, and after 6 months of training, he would be brought back to Dallas, made my superior, and given twice my salary. It happened more than once. What really angered me was when I told that these men earned more because they had families to support. I had a family to support too. In those days, it seemed that women's brains were worth only 50 cents on the dollar in a male-run corporation. Even more insulting was the way a woman's ideas were rarely respected. I became enraged every time I presented a good marketing plan and was dismissed with, "Mary Kay, you're thinking just like a woman." I knew that in my company, thinking like a woman was going to be an asset, not a liability. But that wasn't all. I had some other unique plans for my dream company. After working for several direct sales organizations, I knew that I wanted to eliminate assigned territories. I remembered when I was earning $1,000 a month in commissions from my unit sales, and my husband took a new job in St. Louis. Because I couldn't take my unit with me, I lost all the commissions on the people I had recruited, trained, and motivated for 8 years. I thought this was totally unfair. I had built the territory, but someone else inherited those terrific salespeople and the commissions on their sales. At Mary Kay Cosmetics, we don't have territories. A beauty consultant can be on a vacation in Hawaii or California or anywhere else and recruit a new consultant. She can live in Cleveland and be visiting her sister in Omaha, and when she recruits someone. In any case, as a recruiter, she can receive a personal recruit commission on the wholesale purchase of her recruit. To carry the example further, the director in Omaha will take that new recruit under her wing, train her, and include her in the Omaha unit meetings, and guide her right up the ladder of success. And yet, all eligible commissions will go back to Cleveland and the woman who originally brought that new person into the company. We call this our adoptee program. The Omaha recruit may go on to recruit additional people, and as long as both she and her Cleveland sponsor stay active within the company, the recruiter can receive the commissions on the recruitee sales and activity. Ask any financial advisor, and he or she will tell you that this system cannot possibly work. But it does work. Today, Mary Kay Consultants has thousands of sales directors, and most of them work in more than one state. Many work in a dozen or more. Each sales director reaps the benefits from her recruits in other cities and helps local recruits in return. The critics say, why would anybody work to develop an adoptee and never get a cent of commission? Why would I work to bring your person up the ladder of success so that you can get all the commissions? You're crazy. But our sales directors don't think that way. Some of them have 75 to 100 adoptees, and it can indeed represent a substantial drain on the individual's time and energy. But each sales director thinks, I'm helping her, but someone else is helping my recruits in other cities. The system works. And while I agree that such a program could be difficult to implement into an existing company, I believe it would work for any beginning organization. This system works because it's based upon the golden rule, or as we sometimes refer to it, the go-give principle. At Mary Kay Cosmetics, we focus on giving, not just getting. And we use this philosophy in every aspect of the company. For example, we use the go-give principle when teaching our beauty consultants the art of customer relations. We constantly stress that a consultant must never have dollar signs in her eyes or think, how much can I sell these people today? Instead, she must think in terms of, what can I do today so that these women will leave here feeling better about themselves? How can I help each woman develop a more positive self-image? We know that if women feel pretty on the outside, she becomes prettier on the inside too. In addition, she goes on to become a better member of her family and of her community. Another cornerstone of Mary Kay Cosmetics was my desire to give customers the opportunity to learn about cosmetics in a natural, relaxed environment before they buy a single item. I had learned long before starting the company that most women understand neither why they are buying a specific product or how that product will meet their individual skincare needs. In short, they don't know how to take care of their skin. The normal pattern is to buy a jar of this from a department store, buy a jar of that from a drugstore, and something else from someplace else, and then use it all together in a haphazard fashion. I knew this was true because I had done it myself. I had bought hundreds of dollars worth of cosmetics that I never used. They all looked terrific in the store, but when I got home, they never seemed to do what I expected. I saw this situation as a wonderful opportunity to teach women about total skin care. To accomplish this, I created this small sales presentation or skincare class for no more than 5 or 6 women. While other direct sales companies stressed parties and asked a hostess to provide 12 to 25 people for their products demonstration, I realized that such a system created numerous problems. First, many hostesses felt that their homes would not hold a crowd of that size. Others would say, I must serve refreshments and I don't have that many good cups. But most of all, everyone recognized that such large demonstrations were impersonal. I wanted our consultants to work with small groups so that each person would receive personal attention. When instructing just 5 or 6, our consultant can evaluate the needs of each woman and answer every question. She can, for example, teach a woman how to cleanse her skin, how to make her thin lips look fuller, how to use contouring techniques to make her round face appear more oval. Personalizing the beauty process becomes our specialty. I wanted every woman to leave a Mary Kay skincare class knowing how to properly maintain healthy skin, as well as the best ways to use cosmetics to enhance her own natural beauty. As the popularity of our methods grew, we were approached about selling Mary Kay products in department stores. But that was not the answer for us. Most women are too self-conscious to remove their cosmetics in public place or to take shopping time for a lengthy consultation. And without proper instruction, a woman could look like Linda Evans in the store and Dracula when she tried to recreate that look at home. In a home environment, each woman can learn to apply her own makeup in front of her own mirror in a natural light. Once this instructional process is complete, she can correctly apply what she has learned today, tomorrow, and forever. Equally important is the fact that when a woman has an opportunity to learn about skincare in this way, she will buy only those products that meet her individual needs. As I've indicated, our policy at Mary Kay Skincare Classes is to instruct, not sell. In fact, we attract many beauty consultants who wouldn't be with us if they had to high-pressure customer.